Before going, I was nervous. I watched hundreds and hundreds of people doing absolutely nothing and getting their asses senselessly beat all weekend by cops. And I really didn't want that to happen to me. But also, still a worldwide pandemic going on, which also made me very apprehensive. But it felt like an absolutely necessary thing to do.
I went with a guy that I used to date.
I went with my partner.
Friends.
When I go, I want to go with a group.
There's a frozen yogurt, like corporate frozen yogurt store that had a giant, like big LED sign up front at the protest. It was like right at the start of it, and they had this big giant picture of George Floyd, and it felt weird to see that. Like it felt like maybe this like corporation was like using this picture of him as like a fad in this like fleeting moment, but also it was kind of good that they did it, but it was weird. It was weird to see that at the protest.
I saw a girl talk about how she got batoned at the last protest that she went to. She put her pants legs up and she showed us all her bruise.
I saw someone reeling from getting tear gassed.
I heard a woman coaching her toddler on how to keep the beat while chanting Black Lives Matter.
I saw this woman get yelled at for wearing Trump 2020 socks to the protest. I didn't know what kind of statement she was going for, particularly being a non-Black person of color at a Black Lives Matter protest.
The protest I went to was like very big, and near the end of it, people were kind of like giving speeches, but it was hard to hear them, and there was, several thousands of people there, and so people in the back were chanting while the speech was going on, so everyone at the front was trying to yell to everyone in the back, and nobody in the back could hear what we were saying because they were too busy chanting, and finally, like, these two white guys got fed up, stood up like real like loudly, and started just stomping over there, like just ready to like beat some asses, and everyone was yelling, don't be violent, chill out, everybody calm down. But then other people were like, let the white people go beat their asses, it's fine. And so it was a weird, wild mix of just like a microcosm of democracy in and out of action.
I heard people saying ACAB instead of ACAB, and I just thought this was an inefficient use of language.
Jasmine, what's ACAB?
It stands for All Cops Are Bastards.
I did not know that.
Yes, we're all learning.
My family is glad that I haven't gone to the protests, which is another reason why I should go.
I come from a very activist and protesting family in San Francisco. So I went to a lot of protests growing up, but the one that I can remember were the ones that we went to when George Bush invaded Iraq. And my dad went dressed in drag, and on the way there he kept saying, "Ida, quick, think of a chant." And I remember that I marched the entire time trying to think of the best, most original chant that I can think of. And I can't help but feel like protesters, even unintentionally, have a way of making the protest about themselves.
The first protest I went to was when George Bush came to Chattanooga when I was 12. I went with my friend David, and he had a sign that he held up that just said poop.
Trent, what did your parents think about you going to that one when you were 12?
They didn't know because it was during the day and I was skipping school.
After the protest, I felt very overwhelmed.
Afterwards, I felt guilty for leaving a few hours into the protest.
Afterwards, I felt alone, and I'm not sure why, because I had just been with a bunch of people.
I've been donating a lot more of my time and money. I have only been to the one protest. I don't think I'll be going to a lot. I think it's important to go to them, but I don't think I'll be going to a lot.
I'm writing emails and organizing a book group with my family. We're reading Me and White Supremacy. It feels like actually a big deal for my family to agree to do it.
I feel like I have to go back. People talk a lot about how we outnumber the police, how they're getting tired, that police officers are starting to quit. And the advantage of having a lot of us is that we can take shifts and the police can't. I feel like I took a break and I need to start a new shift. That's what I wrote earlier in the week, but now I'm waiting for a relative to die, and I'll have to travel to go see them, and I don't know if ethically I can have been protesting, and that's really hard.
I'm recording now, so whenever you.
Okay, this is the sign I made for Nick. It says, "Oh piss, oh beans, defund the police." And I did this. At first, I was going to say defund my ass, but I thought that gave the wrong message also. But I think this is good. I can see Nick holding this sign.
I have one letter left to embellish, but for Ida, I made this. You can't see it, but it's on a floral print. It says, "No, we're not done yet." And I think I'm like seeing a lot of people express like fatigue, like when can we go back to posting memes, when can we be whatever again. And someone who just never complains about being tired but does a lot of shit, Ida Cutler.
Aw.
So this is a sign I made for Jasmine. It's small, it's minimal, highly portable. It just says racism is a pandemic. And I just thought that it was just a phrase that like put it in perspective for me. Anyway, it genuinely did like motivate me to think about this.
My sign is for Trent, and it's inspired by the sign your friend David made at the protest you went to, where it says "cops are poop," because I think the sentiment that he had was true. He just needed to be a little bit more specific about it. So I made you a specific sign, and I glued toilet paper on there.
Thank you.
Thank you.